My husband turns everything into a song.
That's the way of life.
The dishes will be dirty for a while.
Where is your husband? We're about to start a band.
Hey, I'm Candice, and you're listening to Talk to Me, the limited series on the Joy FM podcast. I was so excited during this interview to sit down with Chandler Moore. Chandler Moore started off with Maverick City Music, now is making music independently as well, and has gone through quite a transition over this last year. Honestly, some of it was a little bit cryptic online, and so I'm just glad that he dove into it and kind of explained what was going on with him, what was going on with his heart and his creation process. So crank it up, listen to Chandler Moore on Talk to Me. Chandler Moore, thank you so much for hanging out with the Joy FM.
So happy to be here. I have a lot of joy. Haha.
You know, I've never heard that one before.
Bro, I'm pretty sure you've had a week full of
it.
Just puns and jokes.
No, it's amazing.
I'm glad I caught you, though.
No, this is so great. And I appreciate you sitting down with me. Okay, I have a 1.5-year-old.
Oh,
so I'm kind of in the stage of life that you're at right now with littles in the house.
Woo.
How old are your kids?
4 children. I have 6 who will be 7 in about 2 weeks. 4-year-old. I have a crew is 2. She just turned 2 in April, the only girl. And then I have a 10-month who will be 1 in July, Preston. I am in the thick of it.
You're in the thick of it.
Oh.
And truly, you get like some elementary school and diapers still.
Let me tell you. Diapers, it's too much. It's like 5-6 a day.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No,
it's
literally
intense.
The amount of times that my husband goes, again?
Yeah, I can't tell if it's
again?
a dog or a baby. You know? It's just a lot happening in my house.
You got dogs in the house too?
Yes.
Yeah.
2 right now.
Aww.
Looking to give away. You want a Doberman? I have a beautiful baby Doberman. It's just 4 kids. He knocks over kids, and it just gets a little rowdy.
Aww.
But it's cool.
What's his name?
Otto.
Okay, I might
sweet.
have to adopt
so
Otto.
I'll show you a picture after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll ship him. First class.
First class.
His own plane.
No. We'll fly and pick him up. Don't worry. First class treatment. Okay, so I'm curious. With Father's Day coming up, we have all sorts of ways that like our parents have influenced the way that we parent. So as you are raising your kids, when are the times that your dad comes out? Oh,
wow. That's a great question. So my dad is very chill until he's not. It's like 0 to 100. It's what me and my wife were talking about the other day. Accumulation. You know how some people, it just takes, it mounts, and it's like one piece of lint lands in the wrong place and it's explosion.
Yeah.
So I think I take a lot, and then my kids, especially my 10-month-old, that's the one who, like, if he was 2 years older, we'd be fighting every day. Like, that is the one. Like, I can't wait to beat you up. Like, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight because he's very aggressive. So there's just moments where he hits me in the face with a remote. Like, just because he'll get you, he'll kiss you. And then it's a smack with the remote. And then that's the one that when my dad comes out. It's just very cool, like, hot to 100, like, just stare at him. So
I'm telling you, and especially there's something about that age. My daughter does this thing where I'll ask her for kisses. Oh, give me kisses, and it's so sweet until she's sick of me, and then she like grabs my hair and goes, fine, and pulls me, like she'll bite my nose, like it's a whole thing.
You
I'm
want
like,
kisses? Here you go.
Get it? I get it.
Kids,
just a little fireball. You can't turn it off.
They're sick of it. I'm sick of it too.
Well, so you all are a couple years into marriage.
We're 4 years. Wait, no, 3 years in how many days? What's today?
3 years and 3 days.
Three years, June 8th.
Oh, that's awesome.
Give it up for 3 years.
Woohoo! Love it.
Feels like 15.
Yeah?
But that means you're having fun. That means it's good.
I mean, it feels like this is around the time when the rose-colored glasses kind of wear off a little bit.
Let me tell you.
What are the things that you do that drive Hannah crazy?
Number 1, whistling.
Oh.
So my dad is a whistler.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a house where people just whistle. Like, I do it really good. I can whistle really, really well.
The pitch, it was there.
It was there. And it's smooth. I do runs. I do riffs. I do all of it. And she can't stand it. That is probably the number 1 thing that has added the most turmoil.
I feel that. Okay, I feel Hannah's pain because my husband turns everything into a song.
That's the way of life.
I'm telling you.
It's the way to live.
I've learned to accept it, except for when it's things like the dishwasher's broken or whatever. And he's like, the dishes will be dirty for a while.
Where is your husband?
Like,
we're about to start a band.
No, literally, he would.
Everything has to be a song. It's the way you get through life with joy. Joy FM. It's the way of life.
Oh my gosh. That's perfect.
Wait, I made a song the other day. I want to sing it. Never mind. I don't remember.
She's like, you think I have these things
Yes.
cataloged?
The thing is, the secret is she likes the song. She was laughing at it. Oh, it was a jazz song in the house the other day. Okay, never mind. I won't bring it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You can if you want.
It was jazz. It was really good.
We all
want to
hear it.
What was I talking about? I did it. I remixed My Way by Frank Sinatra. You remember that? I did it my way. Oh, I found my contacts. That's what it was. And I kept saying, I did it my way. Okay. There we go.
That's going to be a new hit. I hear it.
Yeah. Jazz coming.
Oh, okay. So obviously you've experienced a lot of success, especially in these last 5 years.
It's been crazy.
It's been a little bit of a meteoric rise.
Yes.
I can't even say that
That's
word right.
That's a beautiful word.
Well, if I
you
can
got
get it right.
out. No, you said it. I won't repeat it, but you said it. It was great.
Well, I'm just curious with the kind of lifestyle that you live, with touring, concerts, I mean, a family, everybody's kind of pulling at you. How do you navigate finding genuine people to speak into your life, especially as you find more success?
Yeah, it's like the bigger my world gets, the smaller my circle gets thing. Last 5 years have been crazy and amazing things, really super sad things. And it's just been an interesting ride. And I think the part that has sustained me, one of the things that God has done that has kept me alive and even wanting to do this is the right people, having the right people around. That's kind of one thing we've been saying about our season is like having the right people in the right place in the right positions has just been a life changer. I think the way I manage it and the way you kind of figure out if, you know, the person's intentions and motives and all that stuff which is really hard. You have to live so vulnerably and guarded at the same time. My therapist talks about how a lot of people wear their zipper on the outside when you really need to wear it inside, and you decide who comes in, who goes out. So I think it's living vulnerable, living with your heart open and guarded, which is the hard part. But God makes very clear who the right people are. And, he's not the author of confusion. Doesn't mean he won't use it. But when you meet someone and you feel that connection, and if your spirit is still in touch, you can feel kindred spirits, deep cries out to deep, the waters are the same. So it's a nuanced thing, but when you're walking with God, he'll give you signs that you got the right people. I
feel like he gives us all opportunities to show our true colors too.
Absolutely.
For better or worse.
Absolutely.
He puts us in that circumstance where we can go like, yep, this is the kind of person I am.
Exactly. And you have to give people grace and time to, we always talk about the first impression is, what is that saying? The last, or there's only one impression, it's the first impression basically. But you have, because you never know what day you may meet somebody on. So you have to journey in relationships. And I think where culture is and where people like me and maybe my age and kind of in my time is, we're so afraid of genuine relationships because we've been failed, we've been disappointed, that we've just stopped this, this sincerity and the necessary genuineness that relationships are thriving off of. And you have to live open, protected, heal well, recover well, so that you're not wearing the wrong lenses when you do meet the right person. So,
yes.
Ooh, we can talk.
The wrong lenses when you meet the right person.
Yeah. We can go on and on.
Right?
The relationships is a good topic.
No, truly. Same here. I'm not even joking. When I was in college, I remember taking a class where I was like, okay, what can I do for work where I can just be friends with people and like just dig into relationship and somebody pays me. And here we are.
Yeah, you're doing it. Let's change. Let's switch jobs. I love this type of interaction because when you're an artist and musician, usually the only time people get to see you is whether you're performing And so now you're meeting me in a state of performance when it's like, dang, I really wish we could get to know each other on a real touch basis, and not when I'm wearing this performance hat. So this is a great job.
This is really good, honestly. And that's such a good point too, because it happens to the best of us where, you never know what conversation, what interaction somebody just came out of. True. And I have been guilty of that myself. So true. So I feel all that. So I do want to touch for a minute. You took a step back from the spotlight.
Yes.
It felt like a reset.
Yes, it was a reset.
Yeah. So
a reset,
tell me
what
prompted that.
Yeah.
How you're feeling now on the other side. How you felt while you were away.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about the last 5 years, but definitely since 2019 has been a ride because of, Maverick and the success of that and what we built there, songs, and then COVID 2020. I traveled more in 2020 than I ever have in my life to date. Like, it was ridiculous. I was out every week. It was crazy. In the middle of COVID. So so from years like that to touring and doing all this stuff, and this really, I mean, I've been doing music since I was like 14, 15, but this really being my first go at like industry and kind of stuff. Like, I kind of just was leading with worship in church and started Maverick. So that success and that the brute force of what it did was a lot for me and my family. I got married in 2021, the year we toured for the first time. Oof. So like, it's just
like a marriage, a wedding, that whole deal, and then hopping on tour,
and then pregnant, and then tours and all that stuff. So it just takes a toll on you, and then you start to live in this world that's not real. And then when you're living out of these false identities and in these false worlds that, you're the really only person living in them because you create them in your head. Yeah. It gets rough, and it gets rough on those around you. And last year, I hit the rock bottom, and I had to take a moment. God gave me the opportunity and the choice, and it was just like, hey, let's the right people around me, let's relook at life. Like, maybe it doesn't have to be like this. Maybe there's another way to do this. And that pause, that, putting on the right lenses, that refresher, having the right people around, all the things we've been talking about, saved my life, saved my marriage, it saved my kids, it saved my house. And now I'm like, the perspective is different. This is the opportunity, this is a great moment, and I love being home. Like, it's not, I'm not using this to fill voids or anything. It's just like, nah, this is what God has called me to do. Sometimes I want to say no. Sometimes I enjoy saying yes. And I want to take care of home. I want Hannah to be proud of me. I want my kids to look at me and see the same guy off stage than they do see on stage. And it's not like they're living with this duality. So this refresh, reset, return, going away has been so beneficial. And I've met God in the lowest place. And I found him to be everything that I've sang about him to be. And that's good when you don't feel like you're just, you have a boss and not a father. Yes. I found God to be a father and not just someone who's sending me out and, hey, go do this for me. But he's close now. And it's not that he was far. It's just I couldn't see him right. I had the wrong lenses on. So this reset it's changed me and my whole family's life, my friends, and I can't wait to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Bubbly.
I mean, truly, when you talk about God being a boss versus a father, it's like, I'm going to put you in the category of being a professional Christian, right? And and I get that. And so a lot of times you have some responsibility that goes into your faith that other people just don't carry. And so that does talk to your relationship with God. That does influence it. I went through a time myself where my husband and I took 2 years away. We backpacked through Central America. We just did the full. Yeah. We did a full reset.
You left America.
Yeah, this was like hold the power button down for 10 seconds reset. Like, we were out of the circles. Yeah. And it's amazing how even that reset brought about some of my highest highs and my lowest lows, because I had to answer those questions like, who have I been living my faith out for?
Yes.
Who cares now that I'm not talking to anybody?
Yes.
I had to look and say, like, do I even want to go to church? Is that something I want to do? Or is that just something, is that just a habit? We get that boiled frog syndrome, right? Where we're just sitting in a pot of water and it gets a little hotter. And then the next thing you know, you're at that burnout. Yeah. And So I think a reset, I encourage everybody to do a reset. Watch. Not that I'm telling you to quit your job, but if that's the right thing.
If that's the right thing to do.
That's the right thing. But I think we all just can benefit from that. Take stock.
It is a time of being still. It is a time, I don't even have a phone. That's how much I'm still in like reset. That's
amazing.
Yeah, and I'm so clear, and I can create differently, and I hear God differently. I experience Him differently. But it's what I've been telling my team, and just creative things we've been doing around is God has had me in a still moment. And when I thought about still, it took me back to Psalms 23 when He leads me beside still waters. Mm-hmm. And when you think about that scripture, what that scripture is really saying is in those times they didn't have mirrors, so the only time they could see themselves if the water was still. If the water wasn't moving. Mm-hmm. So He leads me beside the still waters is this idea of He stops everything so that you can see yourself for really what's happening. So that's the moment I've been in. God has stopped. I said no to touring. I said no to all this stuff. And we stopped all this moving part. And it's like, hey, don't lose sight of what you really look like. Like, don't let the stages and the arenas and all this, the platforms get it twisted. It's like, hey, this is what you look like. Let's slow everything down so that we can clean this up. And that moment for me has been everything. And I'm still living in it. And it's good to find that balance between professional Christian and really the guy who follows Jesus. Like, because they're not the same. So it's hard. That's another conversation.
100%. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be dwelling on this stuff, I think, for hours after.
Let's do it.
This is good.
Joy Podcast featuring Chandler Moore, co-host.
Listen,
Joy
don't
FM.
say it if you don't mean it.
Haley, what are we doing? Are we doing it? Jacob?
All right, we have time
Games?
for the Disco Ball of Fun. Disco Ball of Fun. I'm going to give you an Uno reverse card.
Uno reverse.
In case you come across a question that you want me to answer instead.
Okay.
So this isn't even just a skip. This is you're putting me on the hot seat.
Okay. I like that.
Have at it.
With your work and schedule, how do you find community? That's a nice question.
That's good.
So work and schedule is picking back up crazily. And one thing that me and my wife have that is our anchor is a lot of our friends live in Dallas. So my best friend lives in North Carolina, and then we have friends that fly in from all over the place, but most of our close friends live in Dallas. So whether it's once, twice a week where we're just getting up, hanging, doing random things, it grounds us to remember. And especially for me, because again, being on stage and being in that performance, you start to connect with people on what I read in a poem called One Night Stand, almost like a one night stand level, where it's like, hey, you get to see me perform, and then you're connecting. I'm leaving with all these feelings, feeling like we made a connection. It's like, you don't really know me. So it's good being around people who know me, who know the ugly, the truth, the good, the bad, and ground us and bring us back to the reality. Like, oh, this is life. This is really walking with people looks like. This is what having friends. I don't have to put on. I don't have to perform. So that is how I find community. Very intentional. Gorgeous. I love it. Ooh, I like this disco bowl hat. Okay, who was my first concert? I think it was Bieber, Justin Bieber. Really? And that was what? That's amazing. 2021? 2022, yeah. Crew was born. Yeah, I don't get out much. What? Concert? Like, okay, so if we're talking about like church. I'm literally envisioning you as like I don't know, 19-year-old going to a Justin Bieber concert. Oh, no. Like church concert. Yeah. Churches. I mean, no, I mean big concert. Yeah, I mean like big Justin arena kind of. Was the first one. That's amazing. Yeah, it's crazy, right? That's literally 2022. Dang. I was 26. You got to see it from the other side at that point. Cool. Yeah, it was really cool. It was good. Oh, that's awesome. Wait. Okay. Oh. Well, no, I'll use one more. And one more. I want to use my Uno card. These are just such good questions. Uh-oh. Okay. Ha! Uh-oh. I don't even want to answer this. This is good. Okay. Yes, this is a good one. I can't wait. Uno reverse. Oh, how dare you? What do you do when Christians are mean?
I know, right? Come on. I want to know your response, though. All right. I'll share what I do.
Okay.
I'll share what I do. And this has actually changed since my reset.
Okay.
Because I've been in radio for about 15 years. And like, I would say we're a pretty accessible platform. We really want to connect with people, but it also leaves us wide open for any and all comments. So you better believe that I am fast with the block button. I don't mind one bit. If you don't have a filter, I'll do it for you.
Yeah,
so like
exactly, that's good.
Yep. So I'm fast with the block button. And also, if I know that somebody had said something that honestly they would probably regret if they said to a friend, I'll call them out on it. Like that's the nature of my ministry through radio is this is a back and forth. I talk at you
I love that.
a lot.
I love
but
that.
I will get people that say, okay, enough of this, or, is there anything else you talk, just
I got it.
criticisms, right? Which
I love that.
I'm a person.
Yeah, absolutely.
and I'm open to criticism. I want to have that conversation.
Yeah.
But when people say it in a way that is like, it's coming for you in the comments kind of conversation.
Yes.
I'll just say, listen, hey, that actually hurt my feelings.
Yes.
I didn't like the way you said that. Like, this is why I talk about it this way. This is why I think this. And I'll explain myself.
Yeah.
And more often than not, people come back and say, I'm sorry. Like, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean it that harsh. And, but sometimes it feels like when people are talking to a brand versus a person, you just get a different conversation.
It is all about what you just said. It's like you remembering that though, I may follow this person on Instagram, or though I may hear this person a lot, they're still a person. And though I may hear them and sing their music, listen to them on the radio, I still do not know them. Like, that's the part that is so hard. It's like, and especially as artists and musicians, you do life with people.
Totally.
People are singing your music when they're in hospital, their lowest moments, and people feel like they know. It's like, you still got to remember, it's like, I'm still a human. I have people who actually check me. I think the powerful story that I've been using to reconcile myself with, just kind of hard, mean Christians, is the story of Jesus in John 8, the woman who got caught in adultery. I think it's John 8. And how Jesus, with these people who are pointing, wanting to throw stones, it's like, hey, you guys, if you haven't sinned, then you could throw a stone. Everybody just gets up and walks away. And the only thing he says to her, knowing what she's done, knowing her intimately, knowing all things about it, is like, hey, go and sin no more. You've been forgiven. You are not condemned. Who's here to condemn you? And I think if we can start there with that principle, it's like, if you're my friend, check me, please. But if you don't know me, you don't know. A post on Instagram is not real life. Like, it's just so hard.
Yeah, and as vulnerable as we are, and that's the hard thing about
I'm so vulnerable.
art
That's the other
specific.
thing. Yeah, I'm so sensitive. It's like,
yes. And you wanna bring that to people because that you hear that in your music, the genuine response to God that you're having, and then for people to be like, actually, you're like, okay,
it's like too real sensitive, and then it's like, but help me, I'm a human. Like,
literally.
Yeah, it's two-sided.
There we go. We both answered it.
Yeah, good question.
All right, let's do one more.
Okay, one more. Okay, I got this. This is a fun one. What is your most embarrassing on stage moment? I have two, but I'll bring out one because I can't put one over the other. First one was I was singing with a guy named Travis Green, and so I was back, and it was me and one other person, so it was only two background, whatever, dancing, other stuff. The stage had a gap between the wall and where the stage ends. So I mean, with Maverick, I'm pretty wild and like I'm all over the place. But when I was a background, I was younger, I was just all over the place, really. So we're in the middle of a conference, singing, he's singing. I step back and my foot goes down and I'm like hanging on the stage by my foot. And he literally ends the whole song and walks off stage. He leaves me there.
No, he left you there.
Leaves me there. Yep, I fell behind. And the band kept playing. Oh, it hurt really bad. But in those moments, you're so embarrassed, you don't even know how much it hurt.
The adrenaline.
So you feel it later. Then the other moment is I was on stage with Mav one time, and my pants thing snapped.
Dang.
That was really embarrassing.
Were they the kind of pants you kind of need a belt with?
At the time, I had just got married, and you just eat a lot when you get married.
I know
you're
it.
Happy.
I literally know it. I call it fat and happy. Yep.
And it was really bad. And it was in the middle of like one of my songs. It's not like Naomi or singer or Dante would sing or Joel.
Yeah, you can
or
just like turn away. Yeah, a little backstage moment. No.
It was in the middle. So I was just holding it up and one hand on my pants, one hand to
as
the
long
Lord.
as the mic is somewhere.
Right. It's crazy. Yeah, that was rough.
Oh, that's awesome. Chandler, thank you so much. It has been truly a joy to get to know you more.
Thank you. Truly a joy. Love Joy FM.
Love Joy FM. Thank you. Thanks so much for listening to Talk to Me on the Joy FM podcast. Make sure you share your favorite episode with a friend. And if you're not yet subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Thanks so much. Talk to you later.